Roman Anthony is about to have an MVP caliber season, and his performance in the World Baseball Classic only solidifies that.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. I'm your host, Gabby Maljanian, former ESPN social media associate and currently the host of the Boston Balling podcast as well. And I am here to bring you the latest in all things Boston Red Sox, Monday through Friday, straight to your favorite podcast feed. And the best part, it's all free. So make sure you tune in because Locked On is here for you every single day. This episode is brought to you by MLB The Show 26. Visit MLB.show/lockedon and use code LOCKEDON to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. Pre-order now, available today on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you tuning in, as always, to Locked On Red Sox. And while we continue to enjoy what's been a phenomenal World Baseball Classic with Team USA set to play in the championship game, two players on Team USA have really stood out in this WBC, and that's Roman Anthony and Garrett Whitlock. I'm going to be talking about both of them on today's show. And we have 9 days until opening day. Going to be talking about the most iconic player to wear number 9 for the Boston Red Sox. So when we think about players who have come through the Boston Red Sox organization, there's some where there's just an extra level of excitement surrounding that player, and rightfully so, if that player has a ton of potential to be a really special player moving forward. And Roman Anthony definitely falls into that category. He came in with lots of hype, was the top prospect in all of Major League Baseball before getting called up to the Boston Red Sox. And even earlier on in the season last year, when he was still in Worcester, there were so many people calling for him to be called up. And I had spoken to him multiple times in Worcester, and he wasn't even really focused on that or really thinking about that. And when people would ask him about his potential call up, he was just kind of focused on contributing to the team that he's on. And that just shows how special of a mentality he has. He wasn't getting too far ahead of himself. He wasn't making assumptions about his call up, and he felt like he still needed to prove himself every single day. And that's the mentality that's going to allow a player to succeed at the highest level. And that's exactly what we get from Roman. And that's why I really enjoy the fact that he is on my favorite baseball team. And there's a level of maturity that Roman Anthony shows that you don't see in every 21-year-old. The way that he carries himself off the field, which I can speak to from the interviews I've had with him, and also the way he carries himself on the field. It doesn't appear like any moment is too big for him. And he's a guy who only spent a few months in Major League Baseball, especially when you consider the fact that he got hurt at the end of the season last year and missed the postseason. He really didn't spend a lot of time in the majors last year, but based on how he's looked in this World Baseball Classic, he looks like he's been doing this for years, and he looks like he's been a star for so long. And that's really special and really rare, and you don't see that in every player. So when it was announced that Roman was going to get called up, unfortunately, it was at the expense of Willie Abreu because he got hurt. But there was just this feeling around Red Sox Nation that I haven't quite seen in a long time, just that excitement level for him to make his Red Sox debut. I mean, you don't see that every day. And it was really cool to see everybody coming together because they were just so excited about Roman Anthony. So then he got called up, and there was a question about whether he'd be able to handle the pressure at that level, which is a question that comes with every player. Are they going to be able to handle that type of pressure? And he did. Seamless. Didn't seem like being in a major league game was too much pressure for him at all. And then he went into this World Baseball Classic with the chance to play for his country when it was announced that he would be replacing Corbin Carroll, who was facing an injury and couldn't play anymore. I was like, wow, this is a tremendous opportunity for Roman. this is an opportunity for him to really showcase his game on the big stage, a world stage. And I said before this tournament started, if Roman balls out in this tournament, that's saying a lot about his potential moving forward, because if he can perform on this stage, he's not going to face a bigger stage than that. And granted, the World Series obviously is a huge stage too, but you could argue that the World Baseball Classic is an even bigger stage because there are so many people from around the world coming together to watch this. And he just continues to perform. And he had a big moment in the semifinal game for Team USA as well, hitting the go-ahead home run for USA. And every moment that I've seen of Roman in this tournament has just been so special. And he just carries himself with such strong plate discipline. And he's been compared to some really good players. A-Rod compared him to Joe DiMaggio and Derek Jeter. I mean, literally, like, that's not something you take lightly. While Alex Bregman's departure from the Boston Red Sox does sting, the Red Sox have players who are expected to step up big in 2026, and Roman is definitely going to be one of those players. In 2025, he hit .292 to go along with a .463 slugging percentage and .859 OPS. Despite playing in only 71 games, he still finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting, which says a lot. And once he joined Team USA, I was excited for him to showcase that potential to the world, because there were people who literally were asking me what's so special about Roman. Why is he so hyped up? I was like, well, you're about to find out. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Eventual game-winning home run against the Dominican Republic on Sunday, and that led USA to the championship game. And Alex Rodriguez said, when you see a kid like that, whether it's Joe DiMaggio or Ted Williams or Derek Jeter or Big Papi, there are some people that just have the it factor. That kid has the looks, the humility, the size, the power. I mean, when you are being compared to a player like that, especially by a player like A-Rod, that's meaningful and that's significant. And David Ortiz also was impressed with him. He said, that kid is a student of the game. We are so proud to have him in our organization, and it's because he does nothing but get better and better and better. This is a kid who came into the league last year. He got injured, and being able to watch his team during the playoffs and not being able to perform and be with them, that was killing him. I can see it in his face. Glad that he's healthy this year. He put on a show tonight. So now he'll be a big factor in the title game for Team USA as well. He has hit .318 to go along with a .591 OPS and a team high 7 RBIs during this tournament. So that's big. I mean, he really has just put together so many quality at-bats. Staying healthy will definitely be key to his success this season, because outside of his successful 71 game with Boston last year, he also slashed .288 with a .423 on-base percentage and .491 slugging percentage with Worcester before that. And so the only thing that held him back was that oblique injury in September. And if he can stay healthy, I expect huge things from him this season, to the point where he has an MVP caliber campaign. Now, here's why. Now, one of the biggest things that Roman Anthony struggled with in 2025 was being able to hit against left-handed pitchers. So, for example, he had 50 hits against righties last year compared to just 25 against lefties. 16 doubles against right-handed pitching versus just 2 doubles against lefties. 1 triple against a right-handed pitcher, 0 against a left-handed pitcher. He did hit 4 home runs against both righties and lefties, which is notable, but he had 21 RBIs against right-handed pitching compared to just 11 against left-handed pitching. 32 walks against righties compared to just 8 against lefties too. And Roman has always been known to be a really disciplined hitter. That's a factor that's going to push him towards an MVP season this upcoming year, is because he is just such a hard out. He has a really good eye and knows and is familiar with what he should not be swinging at. And that allows him to identify the pitch that's going to be able to help him make the most contact. So to me, that aspect of his game is going to continue to fuel him to success. His batting average against right-handers was .299 compared to .278 versus lefties. So he did struggle to make contact more against left-handed pitching. Overall, a good sign in this World Baseball Classic, he's been hitting lefties. I mean, that home run that he launched in the WBC semifinal game was against a left-handed pitcher. So if he's starting to unlock that aspect of his game of being able to hit very effectively against lefties, there isn't much else really that's stopping him from being an MVP candidate. And to me, if anybody on this Boston Red Sox team is going to be an MVP candidate, it's going to be him, because he is going to be the guy who's going to just light up this season. He's figuring out his weaknesses and he's figuring out how to improve in that area. And the Team USA manager, Mark DeRosa, said Roman Anthony is special and the moment is never too big for him. Red Sox fans are going to have a nice time with him for the next 15 years. Special, 21 years old, to come in and handle himself the way he has, the quality of at-bats, the way the moment's not too big for him. Starting every game, he's been carrying us. Yeah, you're going to have a nice 15 years, a nice time in Boston with this dude. So the crazy thing is, for Red Sox fans, this isn't surprising. I'm not surprised that he's having this type of performance on the world stage. The only thing that I was feeling like was, okay, it could be a little bit too big of a moment for him. He could be feeling the pressure because he's never played in that type of environment before, but that's not slowing him down or stopping him at all. And the special aspect of his game with the plate discipline and the way that he's able to show so much maturity, that's shining through. And if he continues to have that, things are only going to get better for him. And now he's figuring out how to hit lefties. Look out, league. Roman Anthony is bound to have an MVP caliber contending season. I'm not saying he's going to win MVP necessarily, but he's definitely going to be in the conversation. And I cannot wait to see him continue to explode in 2026. But coming up, there's another player on Team USA who has been shining for the Boston Red Sox as well. Today, I'm thrilled to be talking about our sponsor, MLB The Show 26. The greatest game in baseball is back with its newest installment. Baseball fans are going to have a hard time pulling themselves away from the game. There's so much excitement of getting to play franchise mode as your favorite team, and it enhances your experience as a diehard fan because you feel like you're controlling outcomes and you feel more connected with these players. So then when you're watching them on TV, you feel more connected to them that way. So that's what's great about it. If you're a gamer, a baseball fan, or just want to enjoy America's favorite pastime in a new, exciting way, you are going to love MLB The Show 26. Play as your favorite team and franchise players and see if you have what it takes to win your World Series. Visit MLBThe.show/lockedon and use code LOCKEDON to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. Internet connection required. Pre-order now. Available today on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. It'll really help enhance your experience as a Major League Baseball fan, I promise you. And you know what else will enhance your experience? Cheap tickets on Game Time. Because of opening day being almost here and you're itching to get into the ballpark, you should start using Game Time now to get the best ticket deals, because the Game Time apps gives fans the advantage with constant innovation. It's how you unlock amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's really simple to use. The Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. And here's the best part. Fees are included in the price you see. What you see is what you pay, period. 2 taps and it's done. No stress, no hidden fees, just great seats in minutes. That's what makes it so easy to decide last minute to hit a game. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Add that to your to-do list, as well as joining the Everydayer Club now with code MARCH to get your first month free. If you sign up before the NCAA tournament tips off this Thursday, you can compete against me and many other Red Sox fans in our men's and women's bracket pools on Discord. The winner in each will get $100 in Locked On merch. The rest of us can commiserate in the members-only chats as our brackets blow up. And as a member of the club, you get an ad-free version of this show. Again, it's all free for a month with code MARCH at lockedonredsox.supercast.com. And the best part, if you subscribe and you really like it, you can stay subscribed and you can even upgrade your subscription to the all access tier. And on that, you get specific one-on-one texting directly with me to get all of your Red Sox related questions answered. And you can also have access to all access episodes that you won't find anywhere else, that nobody else is going to hear. So if you like all of those perks and benefits, make sure you take advantage of that code MARCH today and start being part of the subscriber community. When we think about the season upcoming, it's easy to look back on the season prior and think about everything that happened during that season, whether it's the good or the bad for the Boston Red Sox. And while this team certainly had its struggles, one aspect of the roster last year that was definitely a strength was the bullpen. And that was largely in part to a guy named Garrett Whitlock, who was a huge asset to the Red Sox pen. And when the Red Sox first acquired Garrett Whitlock in the Rule 5 draft, there was this experimental period where they were having him play out of the bullpen, but they also tried him out as a starter. And I personally never liked him as a starter. I always felt like the bullpen was the best place for him to play. And then he got injured, so he missed time. And now he's back. And last year, when he came back from injury, there was no talk about him starting. It was all just the fact that he was going to be a reliever. So it seems like everything's been put to bed, at least the discussions of him potentially being a starter, which is fantastic because, again, I truly feel like the bullpen is the best spot for him. And he, as well as Roman Anthony, is showing on the big stage that he is ready to come back and have a really strong season for Boston. In 2025, he was one of the Red Sox most reliable relievers, primarily serving as the 8th inning guy, that bridge guy to lead to Aroldis Chapman. And he was really reliable in that role. And I said the biggest key for Whitlock is going to be health. And when he's healthy, he's one of the best relievers in baseball. And he's showing that in his performances in the World Baseball Classic as well. And while the Red Sox overall, for every team, have truly been the story in general of this World Baseball Classic, we have to shout out the Team USA players since they're in the finals now. And Garrett Whitlock definitely is one of those players who they can thank for helping to contribute to that. And Mark DeRosa, the Team USA manager, called Garrett Whitlock absolutely nasty. And he may not exactly be a household name, but this is why this is exciting for me, because this is now finally when the world is seeing how nasty of a pitcher Garrett Whitlock actually is. People were unfamiliar with him and with his game going into this tournament, but now everybody's so excited about him, and rightfully so. I mean, he's feared by hitters everywhere across Major League Baseball. He turned in another dominant campaign for the Red Sox last year, posting a 7-3 record with a 2.25 ERA, 1 save, and 91 strikeouts in 72 innings of work out of the bullpen. And if this WBC is anything to go by, he appears ready to do that again, hopefully, in 2026. He's given up just 1 hit over 3 innings of work during the tournament, while also picking up a save along the way. His work against the Dominican Republic, though, very well may have been his best of the tournament. He had to face Juan Soto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Manny Machado in the 8th inning of a 1-run game. I mean, talk about difficult. I mean, that lineup is crazy, and those guys are the heart of it. So he faced some really tough opponents. And what happened? He sent them back effortlessly to the dugout in order, helping the Americans eventually come out of top of the game. And that's when Mark DeRosa gave him his due praise, saying absolutely nasty. I mean, simply put, it's true. So even though his career briefly went off the rails in 2023 and 2024, primarily due to injury, that move back to the bullpen helped his to find his way again. His success in that role caught the attention of Team USA, and he's played a big role at the back end of the bullpen throughout the team's run in the tournament. And now, as a result, USA is just one win away from being crowned the winner of the World Baseball Classic. If they have Garrett Whitlock on the team, I really like their chances. So in terms of his statistics overall in this tournament, he's had 3 appearances and has allowed 1 base runner. He struck out 5 of the 9 outs that he's recorded. And his key contributions include that save versus Mexico and 2 perfect 8th innings in elimination games. So Alex Cora is really happy to see it from him. And the tasks that he's been faced with have not been easy. Against the DR, he began by freezing Juan Soto with a precise slider on the edge of the strike zone before inducing a weak grounder back to the mound from Vlad. And then to cap off the dominant frame, he exploited Manny Machado's aggressiveness, forcing the slugger to chase 3 consecutive sliders well outside the zone. That specific sequence effectively neutralized the DR's most potent offensive threats at the game's most critical juncture. So he's really putting on a show, and Mark DeRosa is taking notice, and it makes me really excited about Garrett Whitlock going into this upcoming season. Now, last year, after returning to the bullpen and him looking really comfortable, it definitely benefited him a lot, and I'm really hoping that that continues to carry over into this year, because the Red Sox have their high leverage arms. They have the guys that they trust. And Garrett Whitlock is definitely among that group. Versus right-handed hitters last year, the opponent's batting average was 214 against him. Versus left-handed batters, their batting average was just 197. On base percentage with righties, 293. Opponents on base percentage versus lefties, 272. Opponents slugging when he faced a righty, 271. And opponents slugging when he faced lefties, 246. Moral of the story, those are really good numbers. Basically, guys weren't getting on base a lot, whether it was a right-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter. And if he can pitch really effectively against both, that's key. And he wasn't any stronger or weaker significantly at home versus on the road, which is also notable too. The opponent's batting average against him at home was a 205, and it was a 207 on the road. So he is pretty consistent across the board, because you do see some pitchers who struggle a lot outside of Fenway, or the opposite. They struggle at Fenway and they pitch really well on the road. And you don't see that from Garrett Whitlock. He's effective both at home and on the road. And that's what's so great about having a guy like Garrett Whitlock in this bullpen, because he's a lockdown option in that 8th inning. And time had passed before he had pitched, because he pitched in one of the exhibition games that the team played early on before they actually started pool play. And then he wasn't getting in to the games at first. So Alex Cora made a phone call to Mark DeRosa and said, hey, get my guy in. And so sure enough, DeRosa was like, I got you, promised that Garrett Whitlock would play. And he did, and he closed out the game. And it was funny because a lot of people on Twitter, this was the game against Mexico earlier on, and they were saying, where's Mason Miller? Why is Garrett Whitlock pitching instead of him? Because people doubted that Whitlock would be able to record the save. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did. And then he put people in the league on notice of, oh, hey, I'm one of the best relievers in baseball. So if this performance is any indication, we are in for a really good season of Garrett Whitlock again. And not even just this. I mean, even if you go off of his dominant numbers from last year, if we're going just off of the WBC, I get why people would be a little bit hesitant to say, well, how do we know he's going to have a really good season? This could just be a WBC thing, but it's not. I mean, last year he incorporated 4 pitchers, a sinker that he used 47% of the time, a slider 31% of the time, a changeup 21% of the time, and a sweeper that he barely used just 1% of the time. So that pitch he just doesn't use very often in general, but the other 3 pitches he was utilizing a lot and pitching at a really high level. 82nd percentile in hard hit rate last year, meaning he was giving up a lot of weak contact. 93rd percentile in strikeout percentage because he was generating lots of swings and misses. 75th percentile in fastball velocity. It was averaging 95.8 miles an hour last year, which is still good and hard to hit. But the point is that Garrett Whitlock has shown a lot of effectiveness in many different circumstances, with last year being a big season for him after battling some injuries in the last couple seasons prior to that. So because he's put up those same types of numbers during the season as he put up during the World Baseball Classic, there's no reason why people shouldn't feel confident in his ability to turn that around and have a really strong 2026. And I'm really excited for what Garrett Whitlock can do. He's been huge for Team USA. And if he gets in to the championship game, if it's a close game in high leverage, I'm sure Mark DeRosa won't hesitate to put him in that type of moment because he's proven that he can handle that. I'm really excited to see how things go for him. So we'll see how it all plays out. But coming up 9 days until opening day, so I couldn't go into an episode today without talking about this very specific iconic Red Sox player. What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can put your sports IQ to work in real time with Robinhood prediction markets. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood prediction markets changes the game. It's people moving the action. So when momentum shifts, you can move with it. I always knew the game, but never had a dynamic way to apply that knowledge. Now I can actually take part live in a market powered by people. You're no longer just a spectator. Play by play, you decide. Trade every play with Robinhood. Now available across the U.S. Download the Robinhood app now to begin. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives, an LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Also, if you're looking to win lots of money, now is your time to take advantage of FanDuel during March Madness because it's giving you a way to turn that energy that you feel during these games into even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. Mixing spreads, totals, player props, that's a good way to make a good parlay if you're feeling confident in certain teams coming out of the first round or certain players scoring a bunch of points. That's a way that you can formulate that parlay for yourself. Go safe, go bold, ride with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay, your style, now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game. The best thing about FanDuel is it does allow you to be really creative with parlays and you can win tons of money. So make sure you check it out today. Get excited for opening day because we are so close. We are within 10 days, which means we are single digits away from opening day. And luckily this year, we got the World Baseball Classic to help pass the time a little bit until opening day. And at least it's only another week now before opening day happens. But I cannot wait. I love baseball season. It indicates warm weather and it's the best sport in the world. And I definitely missed the Red Sox and I'm looking forward to being back at Fenway Park for some games this season. So when you're going to be at games, please message me on social media and let me know. Would love to say hi. But we can't think of the Boston Red Sox without thinking of the most iconic player to wear number 9 in honor of it being 9 days until opening day. You all already know Teddy Ballgame, Ted Williams, the splendid Splinter. legendary Hall of Famer, played his entire 19-year career from 1939 to 1960 with Boston, batting .344 with 521 home runs, 2 Triple Crowns, and 2 MVP awards. He's the last MLB player to hit over 400 in a season. The number 9 has not been worn by another Red Sox player since he retired in 1960, and the number was officially retired by the team in 1984. Williams is widely regarded as the greatest hitter of all time. He was a 19-time All-Star, won 6 batting titles, and led the American League in on-base percentage 12 times. I mean, talk about a legend for the game. So many nicknames: Teddy Ballgame, the Kid, the Thumper, and like I mentioned, the Splendid Splinter. And he was just so good. And I wish that I had grown up in a time period where I could have watched him play. He just was a baller. Did everything right, played the game the right way. And what's most admirable about him is that his career was primarily played after World War II. So he had a career batting average that is the highest of any MLB player in that time. So that's pretty cool. And it ranks 11th all time. So that's really significant about his career. He was born and raised in San Diego, and then he played baseball throughout his youth. After joining the Red Sox in 1939, he immediately emerged as one of the sport's best hitters. In 1941, he posted a .406 batting average. He's the second to last baseball player to bat over 400 in a season. His career .482 on base percentage is the highest of all time. He followed this up by winning his first Triple Crown in 1942. He was then required to interrupt his baseball career in 1943 to serve 3 years in the United States Navy and Marine Corps during World War II. So then upon returning to Major League Baseball in 1946, that was when he won his first AL MVP award and played in his only World Series. In 1947, he won his second Triple Crown, and he was returned to active military duty for portions of the 1952 and 1953 seasons to serve as a Marine combat aviator in the Korean War. And then in 1957 and 1958, at the ages of 39 and 40 respectively, he was the AL batting champion for the 5th and 6th time. I mean, the list goes on and on about how special of a player Teddy Ballgame really was. He retired from playing in 1960 and was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1966 in his first year of eligibility. He went on and managed the Washington Senators / Texas Rangers franchise from 1969 to 1972. He was also an avid sport fisherman. He hosted a television program about fishing and was inducted into the IGFA Fishing Hall of Fame. So, I mean, what can't this guy do between the fishing talent and the baseball, serving in the military? I mean, crazy, right? Williams's involvement in the Jimmy Fund also helped raise millions in dollars for cancer care and research. In 1991, President George H.W. Bush presented Williams with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award bestowed by the United States government. He was selected for the Major League Baseball all-time team in 1997 and the Major League Baseball all-century team in 1999. I mean, this is a guy who just has so many accolades to his name. 4-time AL RBI leader in 1939, 1942, 1947, and 1949. MLB record .482 career on base percentage. I mean, you name it. This is a guy who undoubtedly will forever go down as one of the best players of all time. And people who got to watch him play, I am so jealous. I mean, talk about a special talent. And it's cool when you think about the fact that a player like that came through the Boston Red Sox system and played at a place like Fenway Park, an iconic ballpark that just hasn't changed and is the same ballpark that he played his career in. I mean, it's crazy. And that's what makes going to Fenway for games so cool and so special, because you think about those types of players having gone through, and it just makes it such a unique experience. So in honor of 9 days until opening day, Teddy Ballgame, that's for you. So thank you so much, though, as always, for tuning in to Locked On Red Sox and making it your first listen of every single day. Make sure you continue to subscribe on any podcast platform and follow the show so that you get all of the latest episodes. You can also find me on social media. I'm on Twitter at Gabby Maljanian and on Instagram at Gabby_Maljanian10. The show is also on Twitter at LO_Red Sox. Plus, if you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Red Sox ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to lockedonredsox.supercast.com to join the club. For those of you on video, I send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, for your second listen, go check out the Locked On MLB Top 100 list reveal presented by PlayStation. Thanks so much as always. Keep the faith. Go Red Sox, and I'll catch you on the flip side.